riot. Defendant says he has no regrets. I'm Neil Augenstein.
A man who terrorized a Maryland woman found guilty of kidnapping and other charges. This is Kyle Cooper.
Late-night Metro bus service expands. I'm Sandy Kozel.
Run, bike, or row, the DC Stroke Stonewall Regatta is back. I'm Melissa Howell.
7 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Lisa Mateo. With temperatures soaring into the 90s, Americans are looking for ways to cool off. WCCO's Mariel Mose spoke to some beachgoers at Minnesota's Lake Anne.
Friends Amber Paulson and Piper Miller took their raft out to the middle of the water to cool off.
Definitely going to the water. It feels amazing.
After a year of being stuck inside during the pandemic, 90 degrees is not going to keep anyone inside any longer.
If we get hot enough, we'll be in the water.
Health officials are making a vaccine push. In California's San Mateo County, a local fair offered shots to those 12 and over with a special incentive.
At the mobile vaccination clinic out front, anyone getting a shot got free admission for themselves and a young guest.
Try to get those people who need to get their vaccine still.
Does it getting into the fair, offer any more of an incentive for you?
Oh, it was definitely an incentive today. It just made it like it was meant to be.
Well, last year we couldn't be here because of COVID and it was not really safe. But now I'm back.
KPX TV's John Ramos. The president and Republicans have narrowed the price tag on Mr. Biden's infrastructure plan. CBS's John Dickerson has more on what lies ahead.
He can agree to a package that wins over 10 Republican senators and clear that 60-vote threshold, and that would likely be a package that would be significantly different than the one he originally put forward and the one that progressives liked, and so he would get a lot of heat from his own side.
The president was asking for $2.3 trillion for the plan. He dropped it down to $1 trillion. Donald Trump addressed his social media banishment. More from CBS's Tom Foti.
Addressing North Carolina Republicans, former President Trump discussed his extended ban from Facebook. Facebook suspended his account after the January riot by a mob of his followers. It remains in place till at least January of 2023. Twitter has him banned permanently.
Watchdog groups are accusing TikTok of promoting homophobia and anti-transgender violence. Angelo Carusone is president of Media Matters. He described some of the anti-LGBTQ videos found on the app.
Burning and destroying the pride flag to actually encouraging violence against them.
It's been 40 years since the CDC published its first report on what would become known as AIDS. CBS's Elaine Quijano.
The disease was first detected in the gay community.
I remember those very first patients, how they dealt with this illness that had no name, with incredible strength and grace.
It wasn't until 1985 that President Ronald Reagan first publicly addressed AIDS, when he defended his administration from criticism that it had inadequately funded AIDS research.
And this weekend also marks the 77th anniversary of D-Day. This is CBS News.
Never miss a moment. Top news from WTOP 24/7, 365. Listen on air, on Alexa, and on the WTOP app.
7:03. It is Sunday, June the 6th, 2021. It's 73 degrees right now. Going to be sunny, hot, and humid today, headed up to the 90s. Good morning, I'm John Doman. The top local stories we're following this hour. One of the defendants charged with assaulting police officers in the January 6th Capitol riot is due in court Monday, in part to determine whether he's competent to stand trial. Over the weekend, he granted a jailhouse interview saying he has no regrets and intended to confront lawmakers.
Landon Copeland is charged with assaulting and obstructing police officers. He told NBC Washington that he doesn't think he committed a crime. He says he didn't hurt anyone.
One of them pushed me, I pushed him back. One of them pushed me with the riot shield. I took his riot shield from him.
Copeland didn't have a lawyer during the interview. During an earlier hearing, he swore at a judge and a competency assessment was ordered.
I just kind of let it get out of control on me, I feel like.
Copeland will appear in federal court in D.C. by video from jail on Monday. Neil Augenstein, WTOP News.
A man who terrorized a woman in Maryland for hours is now facing more than 100 years in prison.
This week, a Charles County jury found 28-year-old Mark Christopher Brown guilty of home invasion, kidnapping, burglary, and other charges. He broke into a woman's home in December of 2019, attacking her when she got home, punching her and pinning her down. Brown then bound her hands and feet, stuffed gauze in her mouth, and wrapped tape around her head. He also forced her into her car, driving her around for hours and taking money from ATMs. He eventually pushed her out of the car near Akakeek. Sentencing is set for late August. Kyle Cooper, WTOP News.
It's the first heat wave of the summer now. In fact, D.C. has already declared a heat emergency both today and tomorrow. That happens whenever we see a temperature of 95 degrees or higher. Then the city starts opening public cooling centers for residents seeking relief from the heat. Metro bus riders who need to get to work or home late at night have more options starting today.
Metrobus is extending late-night service on dozens of bus lines throughout the district, Maryland, and Virginia. Buses on 36 of Metro's busiest routes will operate until 2 a.m., 7 days a week. Metro is also adding more frequent service and restoring more routes as part of service improvements to more than 60 routes. The service changes will increase Metrobus service to 85% of pre-pandemic levels. The return of late-night bus service coincides with the region's pandemic recovery as COVID-19 restrictions are lifted. You can check out which bus routes are getting those longer hours at WTOP.com. Sandy Kozel, WTOP News.
Sporting events across our region are slowly beginning to resume. One of them, a major event that's been happening for decades.
The Stonewall Regatta, a 9-day run, walk, bike, or row event put on by DC Strokes, hasn't happened since the pandemic began. But this weekend, it's back.
So we put this kind of virtual concept together to be able to participate and be active.
Patrick Krieger is the regatta director of DC Strokes, the oldest LGBTQ plus rowing club in the world.
The teams and the winners at the end of the week are the people who have the most points. The goal is to just try to do something every day if you can.
The event is happening now through June 13th. They're planning another regatta event for later this year for anyone who'd like to sign up. Melissa Howell, WTOP News.
Now, coming up after traffic and weather, there's a creepy guy getting really aggressive in Fairfax County apartment buildings, and police are trying to find him. It's 7:07.
Reliable, efficient, accessible. That's the APC difference. APC, a flagship brand of Schneider Electric, provides clean battery backup power, surge protection, and IT physical infrastructure solutions for your data center, and has the largest team in the industry dedicated to the federal government. APC's global footprint ensures your agency has trusted and readily available experts working on your network infrastructure. APC, providing your agency with certainty in a connected world. More at apc.com/federal.
Shopping for appliances at the big box stores can be trying to get answers, trying to get attention. Instead, come to Bray & Scarf, the area's #1 local and independent appliance retailer. You'll be greeted by a factory-trained appliance expert who'll take the time to help you find the appliance solution you need. At Bray & Scarf, customer service is what we do. Plus, we give you the lowest prices with our best price guarantee and all the appliance brands you love. So skip the big box stores